Looks like it might be just me and you, T-Rex. Steve got a note from his doctor. It's 8 o'clock on Thursday morning. Put on all my stuff to go look for Steve out in the woods because he got out last night. And we couldn't find him. And he spent the night outside. And it was 8 o'clock this morning. And there he is. There he was, safe. I was really nervous. I always had outdoor cats when I was a kid. Never paid thousands of dollars for cats when we were kids. So yeah. You spend the day indoors now? Well, that's understandable. You get a pass. You get to stay inside this time. But T-Rex, are you ready to do it? Are you ready to do it, T-Rex? Yes, let's do it! Enthusiastic as always. And all that excitement and everything, commotion, studying the weather, means that we're not going out the door again until pretty late, 9:25 on August 8th. 69 degrees. And the tide clock says low tide. Saw a beautiful moon in the sky last night. So the new moon is here. I think it's called the sturgeon moon. And that means the tides are high at midnight and midday. And what do we have? The air moving from high pressure to low pressure, from northeast to southwest. The high pressure system is that way. It's in Maine, and what a start. The temperature this morning in Holton, Maine in the 50s with a dew point of 48. Gorgeous. And here in southern New England, air from the east-northeast, still comfortable in the 60s with a dew point in the 50s. But that tropical humidity is on the way back. It's going to be delivered via a hybrid storm that was once Hurricane Debby, this morning Tropical Storm Debby, soon to be post-Tropical Storm Debby and post-tropical depression Debby as it moves north of New England tomorrow and tomorrow night. There's a lot of action between now and then. How about the satellite imagery this morning? And it's really easy to see what's going on here. There's the tropical system over, looks like it's moving out of South Carolina into North Carolina. It made landfall again last night after going offshore. It's now a 995 millibar low. That's about 29.3 or so inches. And incidentally, our high pressure system is 1023 millibars, which is 30.2 inches. So there's quite a pressure gradient. And I can show you the, well, on that satellite image, it's that storm that's up there over the Midwest with the rain in Wisconsin and the low over Minnesota. That's going to scoop up Debby and push her in our direction, but it's going to take the inland route. So much has changed on this forecast, but not in the last 24 hours. Very little change in the last 24 hours. In the last 24 hours, something, holy turf troubles. Are those turkeys helping to dethatch my lawn? Well, thanks for the free dethatch. Must have some grubs under there, huh? So it's going to be an interesting 36 hours. Less alarming than it looked 72 hours ago with the rain flood threat. The wind threat is not huge. We'll show that. We'll show all that. So lots of things are going to happen over the next 24, 36 hours. These low clouds coming in off the ocean from the east-southeast, those are going to tend to thicken up. You can see them thicker off to our south. We're right on the line on that satellite imagery with the clear sky to the north and the clouds to the south. So down near the ground, the wind is coming from the east at 10 to 20 knots, and up in the sky, the wind is coming from the southwest at about 50 knots. So it's differential advection. And there's this dynamic you may have heard of. I've been talking about Ophelia a little bit. Now, this isn't going to be any Ophelia because it's not going to miss us to the south and east. But one of the reasons I brought that up was because there's this predecessor rainfall event. And it had been noted for a long time, but there was a study done by Bozart and others back around 2006, published in 2009, about what a predecessor rainfall event is. It's a flooding mesoscale band of rain well ahead of tropical systems. And we may have a bit of a, they call it PRE, here in the Northeast in the next 24 hours. It's a combination of things, I think. I didn't read the whole study, but I've been watching these storms forever now, well, a few decades. And the front that we had that went south of us, dividing this nice comfortable air that's in Maine and that really humid air over South Carolina. Did I show the South Carolina map? There it is. You can see the circulation, and the dew point this morning is 80. at Piney Island, North Carolina, dew point of 80. That is just serious tropical moisture. So that kind of moisture, and that's energy in the atmosphere, runs into the old front, and that can happen hundreds of miles away into the north of these tropical systems and creates a heavy band of rain. And there is some semblance of that showing up in the guidance of a predecessor rainfall event for tomorrow in parts of New England. And that shows up really nicely on the HRRR. So let's go to the HRRR. The high pressure there over Maine is moving out. The circulation around it is clockwise, so the air comes in from the east and the southeast. And then as that moves out, now we're getting air coming from the south and then south-southwest at all levels of the atmosphere. And we got these showers and downpours developing a little bit tonight, and then more so tomorrow. Bands of rain. And it looks worse on the Euro than this. But the predecessor rainfall event kind of going into Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. So it's not stationary. Those worst case scenarios are mostly stationary PREs. So that moves into Canada, and then it does slow down. And then there's the rainfall from Debby coming at us. And Debby does look like it's going to deepen from its 995 to about a 993 as it goes just north of Vermont, a little faster than the Hurricane Center says, tomorrow night. And there's, I'll just stop it at 2 a.m. tomorrow. And there's the storm. It's north of New England. The rain is done in Vermont. There's a front coming through. It's not really cold, but there's a front coming through from Maine to Cape Cod with a little bit of rain possible tomorrow night from eastern Massachusetts. So eastern Massachusetts not getting much rain from this. How much rainfall does the HRRR show? The whitish is over a ½ inch. Blue, where the white turns into blue, that's about an inch. And then when you start to see the purple, now you're pushing 2 inches. And then it's the mustard, and then to gold that turns to 3 to 4 inches. And note, most of that is across New York. So I think the flood threat is greatest from Pennsylvania to New York. Our savior is the fact that this storm is speeding up so much thanks to that upper level low that's going to grab it and slingshot it across Champlain Valley. So that 2 a.m. has it west of Maine. The National Hurricane Center forecast has remained pretty steady last 24 hours with the storm tracking over the Lake Champlain area at 2 a.m. So it's speeding up even further, I think, in the guidance. I show the Boston 5-day meteogram from the Euro that we use all the time here. You get that on weather.us. And you can see the showers and the thunderstorm threat. Tomorrow, the wind is increasing. Tomorrow night, the wind may gust 30 to 40 miles an hour from the south. The dew point climbs into the 70s. So Saturday morning, the dew point and temperature about 73, 74. And then the temperature goes up into the 80s, and the dew point goes down into the 60s, maybe even to 60. And the wind comes around from the west-northwest, and the sun is out, and it's a beautiful afternoon. Yes, Joe Joyce, party at your house. So many people having parties at their house this weekend. And the Pops on Nantucket look just fine. It's going to be windy on Nantucket from the south, but the Pops are playing on the north side beach at Jetty's Beach. And by then, the moon should be up in the sky, and it's not a fireworks. It's a drone light show at the end of the concert. And I think it'll be just light enough wind that the drones should be able to operate. That'll be something to see. So all systems go starting Saturday afternoon into Sunday. And then there are a lot of different outputs for next week again, including potential hurricane. Show another satellite image here. This is from Zoom Earth. I love this one. It overlays the hurricane. You can see the hurricane path. Fortunately, Debby did not do a loop. It came back ashore. Some thought it might be another hurricane, but it wasn't. It was just still a tropical storm. And anyhow, out there to the east of the Caribbean, there's another area of development possible, and the Euro does develop that. We saw yesterday that it had Ernesto way out in 10 days, safely out to sea. Well, that's not the case anymore. So here's the Euro. Let's go, hour by hour. Well, actually, this is 3 to 6 hour increments, day by day. And there's Debby going up. Looks like the worst case is going to be in Pennsylvania and New York with the flood threat tomorrow. Flash flooding, and tomorrow night it just accelerates through New England. The front comes through New England, and Debby goes to our north, and it's out of the picture here by Saturday night. And then Sunday, there's going to be another additional cool front with a lot of clouds, maybe an instability shower in northern New England, and that's where the air is going to actually cool off and dry out, because there is a plume of tropical humidity coming with us. Anyhow, it'll be gone here by Sunday afternoon, Monday. Now, Monday, this is different. There's another little backdoor cold front, but nothing like it looked yesterday. Yesterday, we saw one front come in Monday, it turned cooler, and then there was like a 552, 546 cutoff low coming out of Canada into New England. That's nowhere to be seen anymore. So this is a very unreliable forecast for next week, because there's zero consistency, and there's generally high pressure, and generally it looks okay. But remember a couple of weeks ago with that 570 cutoff upper level low and all that rain we ended up with out of that, and it wasn't even in a 3-day forecast. Something like that could happen again next week. And then at the very last couple frames here, now we're out to, what is it, about Friday, Saturday, what's that, 16th, 17th? There's Ernesto. Oh boy, that is looking ugly. Very close to where, well, after Debbie went through Florida, ended up in South Carolina and North Carolina. We'll have to watch and see. And we have a new representative, Jot Ross, who's sent out all these beautiful statistics from Ashland, Mass. For the last couple decades, has moved to Little River, South Carolina. And that's right on the border with North Carolina. So he just endured Debbie. And here's his graphic talking about at times there were 6-inch rainfall rates, but they were instantaneous. They come and go. And he ended up with about 8 inches of rain. So glad you stayed safe, Jot. There were a few tornadoes reported with Debbie yesterday, and there may be some more severe weather with that system. SPC has us in a marginal threat tomorrow for severe thunderstorms, mostly towards the Hudson River Valley. So we're kind of getting into play-by-play mode now. T-Rex being so patient, so grateful that Steve decided to rejoin us. I think I know what he was up to last night. I think he probably enjoyed himself. And I certainly enjoyed myself last night. Out there watching the sailboat race was fantastic, with the sun getting underneath the altocumulus clouds. So I thought I would have an easy day of editing, but then at the last minute, Captain Kent invited me out on the jet stream, and we had a glorious evening watching the sailboats. That's going to be its own YouTube video. It's so long, it's so nice, with details on the race. Otherwise, the end more is from yesterday, looking out, watching the weather as always as the sky gradually cleared. Talking turkey, TK talking turkey with the turkeys,
herbivores,
about how I was wrong about what turkey vultures eat. Oh, there are the laughing gulls. Love when the laughing gulls show up. I don't know if I've seen them here at my house. That's one in the front anyway. And if you follow along, you know what I have learned about laughing gulls. Now you're going to know what I've learned about turkey vultures and turkeys and a little bit of that sailboat race. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. The worst of the weather around here is going to be tomorrow and tomorrow night. The weekend looks great. I didn't show the wind graphic. Breaking. Should I show the wind graphic? Okay, quickly. The HRRR. The purple. There's a little red there near Long Island. Late tomorrow night. That would be gusts past 40 knots. And then most of the blue and the purple, that's gusts of, well, this is a sustained wind from the south at 20 to 30 knots tomorrow night into early Saturday. And then a little red does show up on the Maine coast tomorrow night and early Saturday, and that could be a gust past 40 knots. So not expecting damaging wind outside of the severe thunderstorms. All right, now to the end more from yesterday. Tim, talking turkey. Eagle sighting. There he goes. Gorgeous. Yep, it's just producing out the door weather and more for today, and that blue sky. Oh, it's coming back. Come on, you kidding? Come on. Oh no, that's a turkey vulture. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is the theme of today's out the door weather and more. Gorgeous. Let's turn the snow guns on. 1:30. I just finishing editing out the door weather and more. This has gotten way too time consuming. I try to put so much in. Fun having that eagle go by. Now we've got drier air. Oh, goldfinch. I don't know why I get so excited by a goldfinch. Used to see them all the time. Anyhow, excited to see cooler, drier air coming in from the northeast. This front really, last week, looked like it was going to be stalled on our coast, picking up Debbie, causing all these problems. Now the front is further south. Debbie's going to go further west, and we're just rolling in it. We're so happy. We're so excited. We're just going to scratch our heads against the ground and rejoice. I mean, maybe the forecast changed again and maybe I'm all messed up, but for now, I feel much better about our weekend. Precious few weekends left in summertime. I don't want the snow guns to turn on until Halloween. So I had to look it up. Do turkey vultures eat turkeys? Somebody told me that. One of my friends said that. No, turkey vultures do not eat turkeys. So you guys are safe from that anyway. Turkey vultures eat mostly dead things, carrion. Anything from a mouse to, and AI told me this in Google, a cow. So turkey vultures eat dead things on the ground. And turkeys eat stuff in your lawn. They just peck at your lawn looking for grubs, seeds, I think primarily herbivores. Oh no, bugs aren't herbs. It looks like that one's eating some seeds. Guys, mind if I come through? Just going for a walk, Tim and the turkeys. I'm surprised they're giving me a pass. It's the girls. I think these are the girls. They're letting me get away with it. That's the path we usually take up the hill, at least in the winter. It's all grown in right now. So sorry for the misinformation. I'm pretty gullible. Someone tells me something, I usually believe it. You can be the smartest guy in the room until you're not. All right, I'm out of here. Let's go sailing, Doug. What do you think? Blue sky coming in from the northeast. Twilight Series. Summer is waning. Time for TK to go boating. Looks like it's going to be a gorgeous evening. Right over there. Just on the edge of the cloud, on the edge of paradise here. OPYC. You manifest it and it may happen. Wow, this is a fancy looking thing here. I don't know if I've seen that before. And breeze from the east, but the clearing line came in from the east. So once in a while, an ocean breeze is helpful. Having friends with boats is also helpful. Nice flag. So I was rowing and I was fired. We would have been there by now.
You're fired.
What was I doing wrong?
Rowing wrong.
I was
Slow. Like a beginner.
Well, technically I haven't rowed since I was about 10. We almost hit your boat, Chet. Thank goodness somebody was watching. Kind of thought we'd had total blue sky by now. Not sure I want to do this. Can you take me home now? I do not have the noise canceling microphone, so we're getting all the wind approaching the start of the August 7th Twilight race. All right, so there's the starting line between the power boat and the white buoy. 6:35. Already got some spinnakers going. Are they coming at us? Maybe they're coming at us. We kind of thought they were going to be going the other way. So it looks like they're taking off with the wind. So we're seeing the beginning of the race right here. Beautiful lighting. Thank you, Doug, for getting us in position. Yep, just heard the horn. Some horn. And they're off. Gorgeous evening. Hole in the clouds. Drier air coming in from the north and the east. Although the jet stream, the boat I'm on, That's the name of the boat. The jet stream up in the sky is coming from the southwest, and the surface winds are coming from the east. And there are our leaders. It's about 6:40 right now. Who needs the Olympics? We've got the Twilight Series. Who's that way out in front? Hot out of the gate. And there on the right, on Great Hill, that's where we do the out-the-door weather and more, right in the center right there. And it's fun watching from closer up, that's for sure. Is that you, Kevin? I think it is. It's kind of a high traffic area. No respect.
Make that happen.
All right, so lots of tactical maneuvers happening right now because of where the first marker is. They had to kind of go with the wind, and now they're going to turn and try and go side wind. And there's Black Seal kind of waiting to make the turn any second. And then this one's out in front, having made the turn first, but that doesn't mean a lot. It's early in the race. Okay, this is getting interesting.
He wants to stay above them. I don't see any action yet.
Pardon me. Coming through. There's one in every crowd, isn't there? Hey, how you doing? Do you have any Grey Poupon? Strategy. Wow, this is fascinating. Love it. Really light wind. Still waiting for a Black Seal to make the turn. So the farther out they make the turn, the more air they're probably going to have coming at them from the side, says this novice. Running away with it over here. So we were just going almost exactly with the wind. What are we going?
We're about 20 degrees off downwind.
Okay, so
slight angle.
What's our velocity, our speed rather?
Speed 4.8.
4.8. So the wind is really slacked.
Yes.
Captain Kent picked off about, I don't know, 5 or 6 boats with that maneuver. I don't hear any yelling, that's good. Alright, I think Blue Spinnaker just passed the finish line. Well, the handicapping in different fleets and sizes, I'm not sure, but I believe that's the one we saw past the first mark first. Very happy to be out here. Very grateful. Learning something new every second. About sailing, strategy, currents, air, weather, and more and more and more. Of course, the sailboat race will have its own video beyond and more. Says, okay, meet me at OPYC, 15 minutes. And I did, and we did, and it did. The race was outstanding. The weather was outstanding. Look at that, the sun reflecting off the glass and hull as it goes over the horizon in Boston. Oh boy. So special. So blessed. So grateful. Now, approaching the finish line. Black Seal. Came in first in my opinion. What's that? Does that mean he's first? What's that mean? Nicely done. What a night. It's not over yet. Okay. Now they're showing off. Or are we showing off? Somebody's showing off. Mother Nature's showing off. You get yourself in the closing credits. Who needs the Olympics? Oh, it's tempo. Sorry. Kevin! What a night! Thanks for putting on a great show. Who ordered up this weather anyway?